good day, good morning. Life is good. I'm so thankful to be alive. I'm out on my prayer walk today. And it's rare that I speak to God out loud. Most of that happens within my heart space. But today I felt it necessary to speak to the presence and address it directly. And it was interesting because I started off knowing how great the presence is and what it really is. A lot of times we've made God to be a jealous God who is angry at us for not speaking directly to him as if he needs that, as if the presence needs that. And we just give the presence a lot of qualities. We give God, we give the divine a lot of qualities that are human qualities. And we know that God is a presence. It is the source of our being. It is the creator of all things. It is neither male or female, although we often refer to it in male form. And sometimes I still do that. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Because the truth of what I know is that none of that matters once you understand that that is how we learn to communicate with something unseen. We give it personification. We make it an anthropomorphic being so that we can have some sort of understanding about how it works. But then we also have to, when we do that, be knowledgeable that there are moments where we attribute a feeling that is a human feeling, that is a physical feeling, that's a lower level emotion to a spiritual being. And if God is love, he cannot be hate. If God is peace, he cannot bring fear. If God is compassion, it does not judge. And so we need to be mindful of those things. But that's not what I came on to share. And maybe it is. Because I believe that that's important to remember. That's important for me to remember. So last night, I was talking with a friend, and I was sharing with them about some struggles that I was having. And I think this is part of a challenge when you feel like you know your purpose and you're walking in it. When you have your heart in the right place, you want to be of help to people. You want to be a beneficial presence. You want to see that the work that you are doing, your alignment, your focus, and what you are bringing forth, you want to see its effects. And sometimes in our minds, we imagine what that looks like. And our imagination is limited. We have limits because we put limits on ourselves. And so the thing that we're imagining is small, very small in comparison to the plan that was created before we came here, the reason why we came. And what my friend shared with me and was something, but it opened my understanding that I was allowing myself to be frustrated by me not seeing what I wanted to see in my imagination, what my imagination had set forth as succeeding, not just succeeding, but being of purpose, being of help. And what opened in my understanding was, if I am receiving, if I am aligning, if I am learning, if I am growing, and I am doing the thing that I was sent to do, that effect is more than enough. I am seeing transformation. I am seeing a world being changed. Yes, it is being changed for me. And sometimes we discard what is happening in our own lives because we are thinking it is more important to see it in other people. But in actuality, the more you do, this is counter to our culture because our culture has us focused in the wrong places. The more you do to better, to expand yourself, to change your view into a greater likeness of the presence of God, to your spirit being to source, you are seeing the change. And it's greater than any physical thing you could see or experience. And here's why. Say, for example, I really felt like I needed to share this thing because when people understood this thing, that they would change how they interacted with other people. Right? So I have limited what I believe is important to just a visual interpretation. Now say I share this thing and this person's like, hey, oh, that's great. I'm going to change how I interact with so-and-so. And I see it and I'm like, wow, that's great. But then it goes away. Or then that person goes away and lives their life and I never see them again and I never know what they continue to do or how they continue to do. That change is something that I've seen visually, but I have no idea how it was carried out. When you receive something that transforms your life, you will see that transformation. You are a part of that change, and how you live your life, first of all, will change your life. It changes your life and you get to witness it till the end of your life. Part of the reason why I do these YouTube videos is so that I can witness with my eyes. I can remember where I came from, where my struggles were, what were the things that really controlled me. And I can come back if I choose to look back. But quite honestly, I don't need to look back, right? Because I remember. I have a great memory. And I remember the things that gave me such trouble. I don't remember the things that overwhelmed me and caused me great anxiety and depression. And I look at those things now and I look at them with thanksgiving. I can say, I see the expansion that happened as a result of that hardship and that trial. So that really freed me. It was like a weight almost. Well, it was a weight that came off of me, that freed me from needing to see outcomes, from needing to see outcomes externally, and really focus on those outcomes happening internally. So this is what I said to God this morning. I was giving thanks And I can't even remember because it was a moment of connection and it was beautiful. I just know in my heart that there was something shared there that can't be duplicated in this moment. But I will share the gist of it. And the gist of it was I was giving thanks for the understanding that I'm a spiritual being and that before the foundations of the world, I was with God and I trusted the presence and I trusted Source and I saw the vision of my life that was in the mind of God, the imagination, the consciousness, and the timeline, the time in which I decided to come, what that would be in human history. And I knew exactly what would happen. And I knew that as I transitioned from spirit being, solely being a spirit being, into a physical experience, I knew that I would still be encapsulated in this physical body that had limits, but that I was still limitless. And I knew that part of me knew and remembered and agreed to this experience, this time here in this physical body, because I knew that it would cause me to expand. I knew that I would remember the lessons, that I would remember the truth of who and what I was, and that ultimately, though my deposit of God Source presence, that was me, in this physical body would seem small in comparison to the physical body, and that for a time, my physical body would seem to be in control, that I, in my spirit form, would be present for it all. And as I learn the lessons and as I grow in faith and understanding and remembering, that I would expand and grow to the point where finally I would no longer be overcome by the physical body, that my spirit would become so strong that my physical body would be in submission to my spirit, that I would learn to master this physical, I don't even want to call it experience, physical adventure, this human adventure. And what does master mean? Master doesn't mean that I am able to control my situations, my circumstances. That's not what it means. Mastering means that I understand as I continue to learn and grow, only through, not only, but there will be trials and tribulations, right? There will be things that happen in life that cause great disturbance in my physical being. And at the same time, my spiritual being rejoices because it knows that that just means there's some more expanding coming, baby. There's more mastering to do. And so when I master this experience, the trouble that my physical being experiences doesn't shake me. My spirit knows that I'm held and that I'm in control. I was thinking about it this way. And I had this analogy the other day, but it just refined itself a little bit better. So, you know, when you're in an airplane, and we all know what turbulence is. We've all experienced turbulence. And if you've ever been on a flight for the first time and you experience turbulence, you probably think you're going to die, right? But turbulence is just tough air. It is air that's unstable. And what it happens is it just shakes up the plane a little bit. It causes you to have to get in your seat and put on your seatbelt. But experienced flyers know that turbulence is nothing to fret about. You wait and it'll be over soon. And if it isn't over soon, the flight will be over soon. So either way, you are at peace and you can focus on something else to do. Needlepoint, crossword puzzle, go to sleep. And so life is like that. Life is turbulent at times. Life is unpredictable at times. And we cannot change that. None of us can. We cannot change it. Even if you look at Jesus, Jesus had turbulent times and betrayal. Betrayal. Being abused and accused of things that he didn't do. But what happened? How did he walk through those situations and circumstances with grace and peace and joy? And yes, there were some times of frustration, but he didn't remain there. And so that's why Jesus is an example to so many, because, and especially me, because he showed me how to live even in the midst of great tragedy, great affliction. And that's what mastering this physical experience looks like. There's some amazing things that you can do. There's some amazing things that you will see done. And then there's some things that you won't see, but that come forth after you're long gone. But the most amazing things that you will see is the transformation of your own life. And so I can rest in that awareness and the understanding that the most important thing that is happening right here, right now on the planet is how I'm growing and expanding, how I'm learning to master this life experience. Nothing else really matters, because everybody is on their own journey to do the very same thing. And as we continue to grow in ourselves and we allow ourselves to be ruled and anchored in the Spirit, people see it, and it might not change them right away. They may not respond to it when we think they should. But guess what? We're not the judge of that. We don't know when they begin their transformation into mastery of self. We're not responsible of that. They and Source, God, the presence, they had that same vision too. They caught the vision. They saw the vision when they were in spirit form. And so their journey is their journey, and yours is yours. So we need to remove the focus from others onto us where it belongs. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you later.